Hello, and welcome into this intuitive reading and channeled message that I will be doing on the United States and the energies that the United States is holding for all the other countries in our world. And what I mean by that is that mirror and the reflection. What's happening here in the US is on such a big, grandiose, extravagant stage that it's very easy to see what is taking place here, especially within the pathologies of a malignant narcissist. This bending of reality with words and rhetoric. This distortion and delusion of reality to suit the needs of a very few. And that energy that I'm speaking of has a resonance within every other country, within our job places, in our relationships, and even in our family units. So just know that I'm speaking here of the United States, especially this early weeks of January. But it's not simply about the United States. So I hope that makes sense of what I'm going to be tapping into and reading for you today. This is going to be really spiritual guidance for moving through this moment in time, why these old stories and patterns are happening, and this potentiality, the possibility of what is ahead. This is not going to be a prediction video. And that's because this is actually a collective humanity choice, especially lining up with the astrology. I can give you some themes and energies and potentials, but what actually happens will be up to each of us. And that coming together as a collective choice point that we are now in. So I'm hoping with this video to give you some real grounding into the energies of this moment in time. This call that has gone out. This call for the divine feminine energy, which we all have, doesn't matter what kind of body you are in, we all hold that. This call for that energy to rise and really anchor in right now. So if this sounds exciting, please stay tuned and we're going to see where all this goes. I have pulled some cards beforehand. I'll get to that, but then the rest of it's going to be really just going to see what happens, to be honest. If you are new here, my name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive, a channel, and I work very deeply with the grandmothers, with Earth Mother herself, along with my spirit guides and team. I will also be weaving in the astrology as well to give us, again, grounding for what the heck is happening and why, to better meet these energies, to work with them, to alchemize them, instead of just kind of getting swamped and swallowed by them. This invitation to move with the flow of what is. If you are new here, please hit that subscribe button. If you find this video helpful, please share this. Please like it and do all those things, because it really, really helps me, and it helps me to know that you want more of these kind of videos, so I can provide that for you. And if you would like a one-on-one reading to better understand what is happening in your life and why, please go to chrissywhistler.com. I have finally launched my new website, so very excited and proud of this work that I've been doing for, I think, about 5 months now, but it is there for you. So please check that out and check out the different offerings that I have. And I do have a giveaway. I have this wonderful astrology calendar that takes you through every month, and as well, let's look at January here, what the heck is happening with the planets, when they are moving signs, when they're going retrograde. This is so helpful. It is a lot, but it doesn't need to overwhelm you. You don't have to take it all in, but I use this every day in my practice of just really living life, and even tracking the phases of the moon when it moves into another zodiac sign and so forth. So if you are interested in entering into this drawing, please leave a comment below and say yes. Say yes, why you might be interested, or even just yes is fine too. And then I will do that drawing, I'm feeling more like, at around the end of the month, end of January, and I will send that all out to you for free. All right, so, okay, I am filming this on January 13th. That's important to know because the way things are, they're moving very, very quickly. And I'm only going to be speaking about what has happened up to this date. I obviously can't really look into the future and tell you exactly what's going to happen. I don't do that. So just know that this is where the energy is at this moment in time. We are in a very fluid timeline. And again, knowing the astrology, there's going to be a lot of shocks and surprises, things that we did not see coming. This is very much this Aquarian energy and this great reset that we are in this. We're not at the birthing process yet. We're in the pre-birth. That's going to really be taking us into March, April, that springtime, early summer. We're going to actually be starting to see what the birth is. So just kind of know that this is very fluid and there's a lot happening in the world. So I've been meaning to do a video on the United States for a while. In fact, I actually tried to do one on July 4th, our birthday, but the audio didn't record. So I figured there was a reason for that. So hopefully the audio works this time around. I did double check, but you never know. And I started to feel that energy coming when I woke up a week-ish ago on Sunday, when me and the rest of the world found out that the United States went into Venezuela and abducted the sitting president. This being an illegal act that was not authorized by Congress here. I'm not speaking about Maduro being a good guy or a bad guy. Okay, I don't believe he was a good guy, and yet there are rules in place for how we engage in these activities. Again, just kind of feeling into how much I want to go into that. I'll actually kind of let that be. This is more this setting up the stage for a new way, or I'm hearing an old way of, it's not even governing, the rule of law being that it is the rule of one man or one voice, or the voices of this very select few. This attempting to go back in time, back to when the world was controlled by these spheres of influences, as opposed to this international rules-based order. And that's not to say that that was all done perfectly or good, or that it wasn't abused, including by my country. And yet there was this rule system in place that really prevented and deterred the larger countries from going in to a smaller country and just saying, I want your resources, I'm just going to go in and take it and take over you. You know, that energy is really what brought us into World Wars I and II. So there is this attempt by the Trump administration to go back in time. And it's not just him, right? You can see that in other major countries in the world, Russia, for example. So I was really feeling a lot of the energy of the greatest generation coming forward when I learned about this real breaking away from this rules-based order. And since that time, we, of course, here had the murdering of Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old woman in Minnesota who had just dropped off her 6-year-old child at school. And what was even announced today is that, I don't know which organization, I believe it's part of the FBI, but I could be wrong, but they have decided to not prosecute the man who shot her in the face, that they are going to be going after her. Which, there's a lot of grief coming through as I said that. This moment in time, if you can feel into it, is like the world is holding its breath. What is going to happen next? Like you can feel this density, this heaviness, and it really does feel evil, like a malignant force wanting and trying its best to cause harm, to be the very opposite of loving. I just had a butterfly kind of fly right by, so I'll take that message in, that hope, that even when it is this heavy and that hope is hard to find, look for those like little fluttering wings, that nod from Spirit, from God, whoever you believe in, that little wink to say, I've got you. even as things are going to get hard, and they will. I've got you. All right, so I kind of feel like I've set the stage for this moment, this very fluid moment, and these energies. Now, I have pulled a few cards beforehand. These ones right here are from the Goddess Power Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed. And I pulled this on Sunday. What day was that? I don't even know what day. Anybody else kind of just lost on time? This would be, for me, my Sunday morning on the 4th is when we went into Venezuela. And I pulled this card, and this was actually in reverse. This is Nike with ambition. And then we had Spider Woman, co-creation. And she was also in reverse. I'm going to be using a little bit of these books to make sure the clarity of these messages is coming through. And as soon as I pulled this, I knew exactly that this, I asked for the United States, and boy, it was right on target, again, in the reverse. Are you so determined to win right now that you are running like a racehorse with blinders on her eyes? Beware of unbridled ambition and the strident need to win. You may have become influenced only by your wants and forget to ask yourself if what you want is for the highest good. So to Donald Trump and the administration. Have you become only influenced by your wants? And have you forgotten to ask what is for the highest good of all? I don't know about you guys, but I would say yes. The highest good of all. This is a time to get real with ourselves. I'm just sort of scanning to see what else I'd like to share from this. There's this need to cheer on others who are successful. This is the alignment message. Cheer on those who are successful. Be aware of our own envy and jealousy. Learn from those who are successful and help those who are struggling. You can learn from them too. And this is also as well, because we are all these fractals, where do we have our own unbridled ambition? Again, in your unique countries, in your job places, in your family unit, where do you need to see this within you? And maybe what you actually need to do is to stand and say, this is not okay. And calling that person, that employer, that business corporation in on how they are behaving. But yes, unchecked ambition is where the United States is at right now. With all of our threats to go into Greenland and to invade it, Colombia, Mexico, I'm sure there are many others that have been named and seriously considered by the administration. Unbridled ambition, having to stem back to this jealousy, this greed. We also have Spider-Woman, also inversed. You must be accountable for your creations, especially when you discover they are not truly reflective of your authentic desires, or reveal they only belong to your ego. It's not enough to turn your back and hope they will go away. So this real choice that was made to go into another sovereign country had to do with this fighting against reality and the cracks of this belief of power that they held crumbling. And then there's this need of, well, we have to double down. We've got to just push through what we're going to do because those walls are closing in, and the people here in this country, including Republicans in the Senate, in the House of Representatives, are saying no. You know, it needs to be a louder no, especially by the Republican members, but it is happening. So yeah, this accountability is big, but that's not what they're doing. They're doubling it down. If you hurt someone else, you must repair the break. This is the invitation that is being presented to the administration right now by Spirit. If you have hurt someone else, repair the break. Be accountable for your actions. And of course, we all have a choice. We all get to choose what we will do, and we are seeing, especially with the murder of Renee Nicole Good, the choices that they are making. They're doubling down on these energies. So, what does that mean? And then a couple days later, so I pulled these ones on January 4th and just kind of sat with him. And then I pulled from the Christ Conscious Oracle deck by Amanda Ellis, because I figure that's what we really need right now in this moment. This Christ consciousness. 3 cards that I ended up pulling, again, asking about the United States. The first one that I'll read for you is Night's Vigil. This is prepare and get ready. Then we had non-judgment, reflection and projection, clearing that energy. Then we have grace, blessings, and goodwill. Quite interesting. So let me just read these ones. I'm just going to read one of the cards, but then I'll give you the rest of the energies from those and how they're all weaving together. So what was interesting was the original 2 cards, these ones here, I really felt this was the Trump administration with what came through. Like, this is them and their energy. But these 3 from the Christ Consciousness deck, I felt, is this call to the actual people of the United States. And initially I was actually going to use the word citizens, but then I felt that that wasn't right, because this is beyond just citizens. It is the people who call this land their home. This is the guidance from Spirit coming through for me, for you, and wherever you are in the world. Like, this isn't not just about the United States. This, though, is going to be the spark that's going to really ignite. I'm hearing the hearts of people all throughout the world. And again, it's just because here it is so in your face of what is being done that you can see it. The deception that, like, there is no shadows anymore. You can see the dark web that is being woven. You can see it in the light of day. Okay, so let's bring in this energy of the night's vigil. This is what we are being called to do right now, to feel into what this can mean for you. In the days of old, before being knighted, a squire would spend time preparing himself in vigil. This would be an enforced period of no sleep. He would cleanse his body, focus on prayer and his connection to God, and reflect on the moral and ethical code he would swear allegiance to. So we are being called, what is your moral and ethical code? Absolutely, for those people in the United States, but for all over the world. What is your moral code? What will you stand up for? We need to create time and space to prepare and to align to God, or Source, Goddess, the Divine, whatever feels right for you, for the next stage to come. This doesn't mean it is a time of foreboding, simply that you are being asked to give your best. Be present and be aware of your conduct and the impact you can make. Living by a code that is resonant to your beliefs is highlighted right now. And what I'm also hearing is really important. This is your beliefs. What is that for you? Not the group beliefs. The hive mind groupthink, not that. Not the conditioned beliefs that you were told you needed to do in order to be a good girl or a good boy, to go to heaven. Add on as you see fit. What are your beliefs? What is your moral code? What is it that you aspire to live your life by, these higher ideals that you set, and also to hold yourself accountable? Many of the qualities that knights of old held dear: nobility, grace, loyalty, courage, honor, integrity, humility, humbleness, faithfulness, are ones our world sorely needs modeled again. So there is a real call asking us to return to those energies, to stand and to be in integrity. Hold them dear to your heart, inspiring others who may have forgotten that those are even important. And you can do it even if that same respect is not shown to you. And as I read these words, I really felt Renee Good and how that's what she lived by in that last moment. As she said, "Hey dude, I'm not mad at you." That same respect was not shown to her, and yet she held it within her heart. This is an invitation being asked of all of us right now. This is what is going to do it. This right here, this returning back to a heart-centered space, the space of love. You are also encouraged, now this is what's really important with this card, and for the United States, is to stand firm and be true to who you are, sovereign and free, not swayed by changing trends or fashions. New friendships and alliances, those who can hold this energy, may be coming soon to you, and the ones that don't, be parting. Change is here. Focus, determination, and a willingness to serve are highlighted. You will be guided by God, your higher self. Let go of any part of you that feels incapable, unworthy, or not up to the task. Everybody has flaws. Everybody is humans. This is especially important with the south node of the moon being in Virgo right now. We are human. We are imperfect. And that is okay. So this card right now is calling us, there's this breaking through the illusion of who we are as a country. It's seeing the truth of who we really are. This truth that has always been there in the shadows, even though it was not talked about or taught in our classes and our history, or even acknowledged. We're being forced to see. And that journey, now this choice that we have as a country is, will you stand and will you protect? Will you attune back to our moral and ethical beliefs? So this is the call right now. This call as well, this standing and protecting energy is going to intensify. Not going too deeply into the astrology beat, but February, oh boy, February. This energy, this calling back, this is anger, but this is a righteous anger. This is wrath. This is anchoring in to this need to be a defender and protector, a knight who's standing for these moral and ethical values and is saying, hell no, not on my watch. I will not stand while evil is being committed. This is what's being called for us right now. But we have to be really mindful to stay in our hearts, to still see the people that we are standing against, including Donald Trump in his administration, to see them. It is still from a place of love. Or, as the grandmothers say, if you cannot love this person and you cannot forgive them, then give that desire to them. Give it to God. God, I cannot love this person. Please hold that for me. Please, grandmothers, hold that for me. This is still a need to be humble. Where are these evils? Where are these ambitions alive inside of us? Please help me to see this, because guess what? I have sinned. I cannot be the one that casts the first stone, because I'm a fucking human. And oh boy, have I made mistakes. And oh boy, I'm going to continue to make new ones. We need that humility and that humbleness as we stand firm and say no, to not dehumanize the other for how they are acting, for how they are carrying out evil. How what they are doing and saying is not coming from a place of love or goodness or kindness and compassion. And yet to still hold that within ourselves regardless. And this is when the grace is going to come in. This is that invitation. This is where we are being led to if and when we anchor into that space. From a place of love and non-judgment, forgiveness. This is when we're going to come face to face with the divine, with God. All right, so those are the cards that I have already pulled. Okay, let's look at some of this past life energy. Yeah, let's go here next. Past life energy. You know, and again, please be really aware that every soul has a part to play. And this is part of, again, that non-judgment, is being aware that Donald Trump and everyone in his administration right now are playing the part that our greater human collective, especially here for the United States, has needed him to play. So can we get some understanding, please, Spirit? What is this past life energy that we're being asked to see? I'm really feeling, with the birth of the United States, those wounds. Yeah, I feel that one. Whew. Oh, wow. Okay. We have wealth, abundance, entitlement. Those of you in other countries, go ahead and raise your hand if the United States thinks that we are entitled. Yeah, we sure do, don't we? We sure do. That's something that we do hold. And this is part of the reckoning that we need to come to. That there has been this illusion of our own entitlement, our own privilege that we haven't been able to see. This is forcing us, or I should say, this is the invitation for us to see this. I'm also feeling this as well, tying into Donald Trump. Again, it's not even like he's just playing this part. He's playing this role that this isn't new. This isn't new. I mean, the reason why we became the United States was because of this, of the King of England and the oppression, the taxation without representation, like all the things, like that's why we said no as a country. So it's almost like we really are, of course this is why this card came out, we are actually reliving the Revolutionary War right now. If you actually go, and Heather Cox Richardson is a wonderful historian for this, she had a short video on all the reasons why the colonists here broke away from England and King George, like all the things that they were listing. I was shocked because I was like, oh my God, that's all the same things that are happening right now. So we are reliving this. We are reliving this. And we've got Archangel Metatron coming through, who is bringing this offer of ancient wisdom and understanding. This is a time to learn how we have been overworked and out of balance. And I'm also hearing the word patriarchy. Like this is what it is. Like this is actually not true wealth. This is not how you even get to true wealth. True wealth is when we are in full balance with, money, society, success, but it's also the other end of that spectrum of Cancer, which is emotional intelligence, family, the mother, safe space. It's really, really interesting. I feel like there's a lot more. And again, I'm like, it's this out of balance of wealth, this wealth disparity, this wealth being centered for only those who are the kings and queens, or who consider themselves the kings and queens. Like this has been the story for lifetimes of all of our different countries. Even all of the wars that we have fought. This is a really, really old story. This isn't even just about the United States. And once again, Donald Trump, his administration, what they are doing on behalf of the people of the United States, they're playing the part to make this visible, to see the many layers, because they're only a fractal. And this also exists inside of us. I don't know about you. I can definitely be a workaholic, and I can absolutely just run myself into the ground trying to get things done, especially off of my to-do list, and my own self-care, my own caring for my needs, and playing maybe, reading a book, just things for me to enjoy has always come last, especially as a woman, as a mother. Like, misogyny says I'm at the very bottom of that. And I have those codes in me. Even with all the healing work I've done, they're still there. They're rooted really deep. And it's like, again, this preparing, part of this preparing for us is actually going in and ripping up these old rotting roots of the patriarchy, that only one man, one woman, maybe, is on top. And everybody else just has to work themselves to death. Maybe you can have a couple crumbs. Maybe. This is what is being broken down right now in the United States, is spearheading that. This returning back to the wisdom that we've forgotten. Okay. Let's go ahead and pull some astrology cards. Let's add to this these themes and also the timelines. It was just being pointed out to me that Black Moon Lilith is on the bottom of this deck as I started to shuffle. And here's been that repression and repression of the divine feminine, and how powerful she actually is. Okay, let's add to this, please. The story, the message, United States. Wow. Okay. Okay, first card is we have Leo. I will. Here it is again, that energy of the king taking center stage. Okay. More cards. Okay. Wow. Wow. South node of the moon with life's debts. We've got Mercury with the mind. Earth element with stability. And I'm also seeing here we got Jupiter return benefits. So I'm going to pull that one for sure. Okay. So what's really, really interesting, guys, is wherever the moon's nodes are, this is the evolutionary directive for collective of humanity as well as ourselves. Now, south node of the moon is going to be transiting into Leo mid-July. And we'll be there for 18 months. This eclipse we have coming up on August 12th will be a south node eclipse in Leo. So, not to go super deep into the astrology because that's a whole thing of in itself, but there is this, again, this opportunity of reliving the past. Where has it become my will only and not thy will? Being part of the group or being only center stage. I would say as a country for the United States, this is the invitation is to reflect, to review the past, how we have been on that center stage, but not in an authentic way. A true, authentic, heart-centered way. That's high octave, Leo. How have we not done that? This is an invitation for real humility right now. There's that time and space to stand, to be creative, to express ourselves. And then there's that time to step back and let others take the light. Yeah. I can't even really go into the energies fully because we have this great reset that is happening, which is part of why we're feeling this super intense right now. This collective holding its breath is because whole new reset, whole new starting point of the world is going to be happening end of February 20th, which is also with the eclipse. It's like what we're coming into, like early summertime, is almost going to be like a completely new, different reality, which is why I can't even go into what this potentiality might mean in August because we have a whole lot to move through first. But just really know that this is part of this, what we need to see. And even for, again, the Trump administration or those who do have this power, can you see yourselves? This need for humility, this humbleness to reflect on when it has only been about the family crest. This is also part of what the South Node Leo means, when it's only been about, I have the family name, I'm the one that matters, the rest of you, you're just peasants. So this is part of some of this energy that I'm picking up right here. And can we come up with new ways of thinking, new ways of being? Mercury rules Gemini. Uranus is going to be moving into Gemini in April. So it's big shifting times, complete reset. So this is going to be big. This is going to be changing, but new ways of thinking. And interesting too, this card has Thoth, this Egyptian who brought us writing. You know, this being from Atlantean times. And we could even be remembering some of this past wisdom coming back online to us, especially when we are tuning into this energy of Jupiter. Right now, Jupiter is in Cancer, which is the most missing medicine of our time. What it means to hold and to be in safe space. Emotional intelligence. Jupiter will be moving into Leo come June. So there's going to be a real magnification of what this is. And then before I forget, Earth element here with stability. This is not a stable time. It's just not. Including for the United States, especially for the United States. Uranus is going to be ruling our solar eclipse in February, which is when the Great Reset is happening. And this is partly why, like, there is going to be a lack of stability, and can you be okay with that? Can you still find that safe space and hold it for others and hold it for yourself? This is not looking outside of yourself for that safety and security. This is not about looking to your presidents, your governments. This is about you stepping forward and being that for yourself. It's really interesting. My kids just started speaking loudly. I'm not going to say they're arguing, but it sounded like it might be. It felt like it. Okay, let's keep going. I just want to add a little bit to this. Not too much, because I don't want to overwhelm you or have this video be too long, which can absolutely happen. Okay, let's just add in a few more astrology cards, please. I just feel this burp coming up and it's just not wanting to clear. The United States. Okay, we've got Taurus. Cultivate. Oh my goodness. We have Leo again. Shine. First house. Arrival. Oh my goodness. And we have Neptune with visions. And then and again we've got Aries with act. Wow. Okay. Well, this is pretty much everything I've just said, really confirming. Uranus going through Taurus. Uranus is completing Taurus. Taurus having to do with stability, with resources, money, finances, what we value. It is going through a revolutionary change right now. We, as a country, are going through a revolutionary change, and we are being invited to come back to that original intention, the original vision as a country. Are we truly we the people, for the people, by the people? Or will we be ruled by a king? This is part of the illusions that are crumbling and breaking down. This is Neptune with Saturn right there on that Aries point, the great reset. This is going to be a very fast, again, this also the energy of Aries. This instinctual reactivity, this initiation as a country, we are being initiated into this entirely new direction if we choose. Okay. All right. Let's look at some archetypes. This is the first time I am using this deck, so we're going to see how it goes. Wow. Yeah, I just look at these cards before me just with the astrology, and it's like this is almost going to be a part 1 video, because come springtime and then come again early summer, we're going to be going through so many iterations of who we are. And there is this real, again, and with this Leo energy too, is this calling us back to our hearts. High octave Leo, this true authenticity, true creative expression, which is the one thing that narcissists can't stand. You being authentic, you being creative, you being a unique individual. All right, so yeah, okay, let's start with this. Let's pull a card for Donald Trump. And those who he is representing, those who are holding a similar energy. So let's ask for that, please. Okay. Okay, I pulled a couple cards, and I just want one, so we're going to go with this one here. This is the Hound. Loyalty, chains, promises. And I'm actually getting really emotional when I see this one. There's a lot of grief. Seeing this sword being... I'm hearing the promises that were actually lies. The promises that were really chains to create that loyalty. The deception that was done. And it's like those who are the loyalists, they can't even see the damage that those shards, these fragments of that sword is doing as it eats it. Has no idea the harm it's actually causing. Okay, let me pull a card for the people. Okay, that one fell right out. Okay, we have the Spy Master. Knowledge, distrust, there is a waking up to this distrust. It's curious. There's keys and then the hand. It's holding out a hand. There's a ring. I'm feeling that's part of the chains. In fact, you probably can't see it, but here with this raven, this crow, there is a chain around its own leg. There's a waking up. There's a waking up. Okay, can I have one card for the other side of this? This journey, please. This great reset. The potential. We have the puppeteer. Explanations, apologies. As we grow distrustful and we demand knowledge and truth, we're going to, this is the opportunity to see how our strings as a people, as a collective, have been pulled by those with power. And I'm even hearing Epstein list right there too. We're gonna just see how, again, it's not even just us. It's like those strings, how deep those strings have gone. It's really wow. How our voices have actually been silent by those in control and in power. And then there's an opportunity to make amends. On the bottom we have the sailor. New influences, wanderlust. This is part of that. It's like the fish too. It's that Pisces. It's holding that Pisces energy. There's something new that's going to be coming through as we see ourselves for who we truly are. Okay. I don't want to go any deeper into that one because I know that we're starting to run out of time. Okay. What else? Spirit, what we'd like to add for the United States right now. Guidance. Guidance and hope for this other side. This card on the very top that wants to come out. Beacon of light. You are a leader, teacher, and mentor for many around you. This is a call for us to come out and to be these leaders. To be a beacon of light, because that is needed more than ever. Okay, what else can we add, please? United States. Okay. We have manifesting magic. You are creating your life based on the intentions you send out to the universe. On the bottom, we have golden stars. Number 33. The stars are lining up for the perfect opportunity now. And they are. It doesn't feel like it. Far from it. Yeah, we're not there. We're not there yet, guys. And I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that. But know that this is there. This is going to be on the other side of this. But there's no if, ands, or buts about it. We have to go into this. We have to see what we don't want to see. We have to. This is where the freedom actually is. This is where the new rebirth of our country is. This is the journey of our Pluto return. This question and this asking of who are we as a country and who we are, I don't know if I can find it again, is this. This is who we are. This is the energy that we hold. And we haven't done that well. And in the sense that we haven't done it perfectly. We've certainly made lots of mistakes, but this is that potential. This is that invitation for us right now. Because we can create a country and a system that's more than just for those people who are the kings. In fact, I have this deck sitting on top. This is the card right here. Caretaker, putting others' needs first. This is that energy of Cancer where Jupiter is right now. This is what we can come into. Okay, I would like to finish this reading with a message from the grandmothers. The grandmothers, to see us and hold us through these times, please. You are in the process of becoming more than you have ever been. That is not just for the United States and its people. That is a message for all of you who are living right now at this time. For the United States, this is that opportunity. You are in the process of becoming more than you have ever been. Each one of you watching this are meant to be a leader, are meant to be a beacon of light at this time. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be watching this video of mine. I will do my best to keep on top of the energy of this reading and of the United States going forward as we move through 2026. This is where I feel that we are right now, and please also know that I've only just touched the surface of what these energies even are. They're very, very deep. And then there's this real unfolding that we are going through in the truths and seeing this unmasking, this stripping away of illusions and delusions. That's going to be bringing all of us into something new. And that call, again, to come back to that very first, real message for the people. What are your beliefs? Your moral and ethical beliefs that you are anchoring into in your heart. That, seriously, that energy is brighter and stronger than you possibly know, regardless what you see taking place out there. This, part of, this distorted Aries, Mars energy is, I'm the warrior. I'm just going to go in and take. This is about calling us back to our own inner knights. So just know that this is way more powerful than they want you to know and to believe. So please anchor into that, because you truly, truly are more than you even know. All right, if you found this video helpful, please give it that thumbs up. Please share it. Please subscribe. Really, all the things. I appreciate it so much. If you would like to be entered into this beautiful astrology calendar, which I'm just going to knock over everything. There's February. And February, boy, this is going to be a powerful time. Wouldn't you like to know what's coming on those dates? So please just drop a comment if you would like to be put into this this giveaway, this drawing for the giveaway. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one to receive an intuitive reading channel message for yourself, again, please go to my website, chrissywhistler.com. Thank you all so much for being here. Please keep shining your light. Please keep holding on to hope, because once we're through this birthing process, it's not going to be easy, but there truly is hope on the other side, this revolutionary energy and potential that we're meant to go through and that we can. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.